Welcome to Average Joe's Pool. Today we're bringing you another in our series of pool chalk review videos. And in this particular video we're going to be looking at what has become the industry standard for North American pool when it comes to chalk, Master. So Master Chalk is manufactured in the USA. It's manufactured by the Tweeton Fiber Company in Chicago. And this chalk has been around for a long time, so you can pretty much guarantee that every professional player on the face of the planet at some point has used this stuff. In fact, many professional players still use Master. And it's quite interesting, there's a video series on YouTube which is called What's in the Bag, and it takes professional pool players and they open up their bags and show what kit that they use. And it's always quite interesting and good to see when you get a top level professional player that opens up their bag and pulls out a cube of Master chalk.
Masters, yeah, old-timer chalk, yeah, my favorite.
So you might be asking yourself, well, why is that surprising if this chalk is one of the most established in the pool industry? Well, the reason being it's both one of the most accessible chalks and also one of the cheapest. To give you an idea on pricing on the Master Chalk, you can buy a box of 12 of these for around $8 on Amazon, and that will include free shipping for Amazon Prime members, which makes them around 66 cents per cube. And if you shop around a little bit, you can actually buy the 12 packs for about $5. Now, you may not get free shipping like you do on Amazon, but if you're buying other stuff at the same time, that might be a good option for you. And at only $5, you're down to 42 cents per cube. And if that's still not cheap enough for you, you can even go for one of these. This is the Gross Pack, which is 144 cubes of chalk, which for any realistic player is most likely a lifetime supply. You can buy these on Amazon, again with free shipping, for around $45, which brings the price per cube right down to 31 cents. If you shop around online and go to some of the dedicated pool suppliers, you can actually buy these for as low as $28. And remember, that's for 144 pieces of chalk, so that makes it only 19 cents per cube. And when you take into account that there are a lot of pool chalk manufacturers out there that are charging over $20 for a single cube, and when you compare that to this, that makes it more than 100 times more expensive. And yes, you heard that right, not double the price, not triple the price. For one cube of chalk, you can buy the equivalent 100 in Master. Which is why it's quite humbling when you see a player like Shane Van Boning at the top of his game who will open up his bag and pull out a 19 cents cube of chalk.
This one right here.
Oh, just a traditional Masters.
I got my chalk in here in the Masters.
And it's also worth mentioning that with the Master Chalk, it does come in a variety of different colours. So you can choose the best match to your particular cloth colour. And we will be adding Amazon links for both the 12 packs and also the 144 packs into the video description below. So please, if you can, do help to support us here at Average Joe's Pool and be sure to use those links. So now we know exactly what Master Chalk is, we need to put it through some technical tests to see how good this stuff actually is. Let's do it.
Who's the master?
So here at Average Joe's, we do test a lot of different brands of chalk. So to help us do that, we have a standard set of equipment that we use and also a standard set of tests. And if you want any more details on the equipment that we use or the test that we perform, please be sure to check out our chalk off video where we compare lots of different brands of chalk all in one video. And in our chalk off videos, we go into more detail on what the particular tests entail and the equipment that we use. So for our first test, let's talk about application. And when it comes to application, Master actually goes on very well. It has a fairly smooth feel during application and it goes on evenly and is nice and easy to get good and even coverage on the tip. However, it can also be a touch crumbly and we definitely notice some larger particles being shed during chalking, as well as some plumes of dust which would be suggestive of a slightly dirty chalk. But overall it chalks up really well. It doesn't feel grainy or rough and it goes on both smoothly and evenly. But it does shed particles and dust. So we'll award Master with a 3 out of 5 stars for application.
Oh, wonderful, master, wonderful.
Next we're on to our Miscue Limit test, where we'll be seeing how many draw shots we can perform without re-chalking and always ensuring that we strike the cue ball with the same point of the tip. And this test gets repeated a minimum of 3 times so that we get a fair overall average. And under our test conditions, unfortunately, Master failed to impress and achieved an average of only 4 draw shots, which is a lower average than we saw on many of the other chalks we tested on the same day under identical conditions. But in reality, of course, if you actually chalk up every shot or every other shot, this test becomes pretty irrelevant. And taking a quick look at the tip after a miscue, you can see that we have a completely bald spot. There's simply nothing left to grip. So overall, Master comes in very average. So we'll award 2.5 stars out of 5 for Miscue Limit. For our next test, we're looking at chalk retention. And for this test, we'll be striking the cue ball 10 times with a firm stroke and then an additional 10 times with a hard stroke. And we want to see how much chalk is lost from the cue tip onto the table surface and also how much chalk remains on the cue ball. And during this test, the cue will be lightly rechalked between each shot as required. And after our first set of 10 firm shots, things are looking really good at the point of impact. We have no really obvious splatter shape, but we are seeing some general light dusting around the strike area. And looking at the cue ball, there are just 2 faint marks remaining from our 10 test shots. So overall, it's looking pretty good for Master. So next we repeat this test, but this time using 10 hard shots. And just like in our previous set, we have no obvious splatter shape, but slightly more general light dusting. And looking at the cue ball, we do have very similar results to our first sets as well, with only just a couple of obvious remaining chalk remnants. So overall, the Master performed very well in this test. The results may suggest this chalk disperses as light dust into the air rather than clumping together as larger particles, but regardless, this is an excellent result for Master. So we'll award Master with a very respectable 3.5 stars out of 5 for chalk retention.
You've arrived on a rather special night. It's one of the Master's affairs.
For our next test, we're delving into the often overlooked cleanliness test. And for this test, we do the initial chalking of the cue as well as the re-chalking between shots on our chalk retention tests over a piece of plain white paper, so we can evaluate exactly how messy the chalk is. And for our Master chalk, the results are fairly average mess-wise. We do definitely have some larger particles collected from chalking, and remember that everything you see here is mess that would usually end up on your floor. And during our chalk retention test, we had no obvious splatter pattern at the point of impact, although there definitely was a general lighter dusting over a larger area. But overall, this is a pretty decent result for Master, sitting just above average and coming in a little cleaner than we expected. So we'll award Master with a 3 out of 5 for cleanliness. So for our final category, we need to consider exactly what you're getting for your hard-earned money. And in this regard, Master truly excels, being one of the cheapest chalks out there. Master can be easily bought for less than 50 cents a cube, and if you wanted to stock up with a 144 cube pack, you'll be looking at just 19 cents per cube. And Master has performed well across all of our tests, with its weakest point being its miscue limit. But assuming that you will be chalking every 1 to 2 shots, this would not be an issue in the real world. So at the end of the day, what we have here is a chalk that's tournament proven by world-class professional pool players, and there's a reason that this chalk has been around for decades. It's an excellent chalk at a bargain basement price. Therefore, we simply have to award Master 5 out of 5 stars for value.
You like?
Yeah.
Why? But very cheap. Cheap.
And so let's give our Master chalk its official Average Joe's rating by averaging out the scores across all of our 5 test categories. And our Master chalk comes out with a very respectable 3.4 stars. And that's pretty damn good for a chalk you can buy for as cheap as 19 cents a cube. And so there we have it. That is our overview of Master chalk by the Tweeton Fibre Company. And don't forget, we will be adding those Amazon links into the video description below, so if you're interested in picking up some of this chalk, please be sure to use those links. And also, before you leave us, can we ask one quick favour? Can you take 1 second out of your busy schedule just to be sure to hit that like button for us? It really does help out our YouTube channel. And whilst you're there, also, please do consider subscribing. We've got loads more great pool-related content on our channel waiting for you to check out, and loads more to come. So thank you once again, and we'll see you down the road.